April 2019 was the most exciting time period in the history of films and filmmaking. Avengers Endgame ending the era and the beginning of the last season of Game of Thrones, globally eyes are glued to screens. Generally, the movie business is a very lucrative venture. For example, Avatar is the most expensive movie ever made. Its budget stretches up to almost $500 million, with $150 million spent on marketing and promotion alone. The biggest expenses were new filmmaking techniques and graphics, and as well as the creation of the new language that involved hiring a linguist. And it paid off, the movie topping $2.9 billion worldwide box office. And now Avengers Endgame is on the path breaking all the records including Avatars. While there are a lot of money to be made in the film industry, the economics of movie making are far from simple. Generally, there are 3 main stages until the movie is screened to you in cinemas. It begins with a production studio, to the distributor, and to a movie theater. The studios negotiate a contract with the distributors. Most of the time, large studios like Disney, Universal, and Paramount are the distributors themselves, and the distributors negotiate contracts with the movie theaters. For a big blockbuster movie, the theater gets only 10% of the ticket price in the first week, and 90% going to the studio. So this is why you hear people saying an opening week of the high-budget blockbusters, whether it met expectations or it flopped. The first week is the most profitable time period of the new movies. But this profit-sharing relationship flattens as time progresses. 10%, almost $1 per ticket, might sound not much profitable for theaters, but theaters still have great incentive to pack seats because of the exorbitant margins they charge on popcorn, food, and beverages. Generally, it mostly depends on the contract, on the movie-by-movie basis, but usually after 2 weeks, the theater gets 80%, and as the weeks go on, the percentage for the theater grows and it gets more profitable. This is also why theaters may choose to show movies for 10+ weeks, because every ticket is pure profit for them at that point. Studios and distributors generally make more from domestic revenue than from overseas sales, because in the domestic market, they get a larger percentage. Still, overseas tickets are incredibly important, especially today. This may be partly why you are seeing more sci-fi, action, and fantasy films, and why superhero movies are such a phenomenon. They are easy to understand whether you are in Egypt or in China. It's much harder for an indie comedy to translate. Apart from movie theaters, studios make a lot of money from the merchandising. It all started with Star Wars. Since the first George Lucas-helmed movie premiered back in 1977, the franchise has made tens of billions of dollars in revenue from toy licensing alone, not to mention licensing costs from third-party companies. In 2015, Star Wars The Force Awakens brought in $700 million in retail sales. Disney's Toy Story franchise has brought in billions of dollars in retail sales as well. This strategy obviously doesn't work for every film, but for big budget films that appeal to kids and Comic-Con junkies alike, merchandising is a cash cow. The biggest problem and common enemy of the movie theaters and studios is online piracy and leaks. There are a lot of developing countries where online piracy is widespread because of inaccessibility. And in some of them, piracy and scamming is somehow embedded into your personal kinda culture, and it's a norm. And yes, I'm talking about you, Rajesh, the guy from IRS with thick Indian accent, and Kamaru from Nigeria who's hitting my emails and wants to send me a check for $500 million for no reason. I mean, it's legit. Well, those developing countries have movie theaters as well, where big blockbusters like Avengers and Godzilla movies screen. But how do HD movies in developing countries and even in developed countries are prevented from getting leaked to the internet? Even though the possibility is very high when tens of thousands of cinema owners and workers around the world having copies of new movies. Now that all movies are distributed as digital files, they are delivered to theaters 2 ways. The first method is to send a hard disk drive to the theater with the movie and all of the trailers that studio wants to have shown before the movie. Each theater gets 1 copy of the movie and will copy it from the hard drive to the servers in each auditorium, where the movie will be shown. The other distribution method that is growing in popularity is to download the movie from communications satellite, or to get it through a high-speed internet connection. To do this, the theater needs a satellite receptor dish and a library server where the movie is received and stored. Once on the library server, the movie file is sent to the playback server in the auditorium where the movie will be shown. With either distribution method, the movie is encrypted with a strong encryption system. A digital key is sent to the theater for each server that will run that movie, allowing the movie to be shown in that particular auditorium. Each key will unlock that one movie on that one playback server. and only for a specific time period during which the movie can be played. If the movie is run to be extended, then a new security key needs to be sent. With this encryption system, a single version of a movie can be distributed to thousands of cinema auditoriums. But the presentation of that movie is authorized and controlled by the distributing studio, right down to the individual auditorium and the hour of a particular day. So in a nutshell, this makes it impossible to pirate new movies in HDs or Blu-ray formats to the internet. Movie leaks weren't a really problem in the old days. If you wanted to steal a film before the early 2000s, you had to actually run away with a disc, tape, or a giant stack of reels. Since most movies are now stored and distributed digitally, it's worryingly easy for someone to press the wrong button and instantly spread a film all over the internet. Last year, Sony did an oopsie uploading an entire movie to YouTube instead of the trailer. I really wonder how is that even logistically possible? Who uploaded this trailer? A marketing team, social media crew? Why did any of these people have access to the full cut of a movie that will not make its theatrical premiere in the United States for another 2 months? Was the full cut of the movie just being kept in the same folder as the trailer? If so, why the full movie being kept in the same folder with the trailer? Did no one think at any point in the process, this trailer upload's sure taking a long time? Are other Sony Picture movies just hanging around in the company intranet? Can someone please upload the new Quentin Tarantino movie to YouTube next? I really can't wait. Well, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Support this channel on Patreon. It will help to increase the quality in the videos. If you have been watching now, we will continue our series on how to make space access cheap or alternative spacecraft launch. If you like the videos, please do subscribe, hit the bell button so you will not miss the new upcoming episodes.